Hello well-wishers and welcome to my channel Aspiring Minds. In today's video, we are going to discuss the line-by-line meaning and do a detailed analysis of Philip Larkin's poem An Arundel Tomb. So grab your virtual seats and let's begin. Before we proceed, let's talk a little bit about Philip Larkin. He was an influential English poet, novelist, and a librarian. Known for his keen observations of everyday life, his poetry often explores the themes of love, death, and the passage of time. He was a part of the movement known as the Movement, which included other poets like Kingsley Amis and Thomas Gunn. Despite his relatively small body of work, he is considered one of the leading poets of the 20th century, and perhaps that is why we are discussing his poem also today. Now let me tell you a little bit also about the background of the poem so that you can understand what is the poem all about. It was written in the year 1956. It is inspired by an actual tome, the tome of Richard Fitzalan. He was the 10th Earl of Arundel and his wife Eleanor of Lancaster, and this particular tome is located in Chester Cathedral. The poem explores the theme of love and enduring beyond death, and it reflects on the nature of preserving this love, this relationship through art. Though we see that this poem talks about preserving love through art, Philip Larkin suggests that that too has limitations. He says that despite the apparent permanence of preserving through art, the true essence of the couple's relationship lies in the subtle details that reveal the depth of their connection. Now let us decode the line-by-line meaning of the poem. Side by side, their faces blurred. The poem begins with a description of the sculpted figures on the tomb, emphasizing the proximity, the closeness of the Earl and the Countess. The Earl and the Countess lie in stone, that is, the figures of the Earl and the Countess are carved in stone, indicating their permanence. The details of their clothing and attire are visible but not in sharp focus. That is why it says that it is vaguely shown as jointed armor, stiffened pleat. The mention of jointed armor and stiffened pleat suggests the rigid formality and structure of garments, that even when they are being preserved through art, they are being preserved in a very formal kind of clothing. And that faint hint of the absurd, the little dogs under their feet. So Larkin notes a subtle element of the absurd over here, something strange, possibly referring to the idea of portraying life in a static stone form. The presence of small dogs under their feet add a touch of domesticity and humanity to their otherwise formal scene which is being depicted through this tomb. Such plainness of the pre-Baroque hardly involved the eye until, so the simplicity of the sculpture is highlighted, contrasting it with the elaborate style of the pre-Baroque period. Baroque was a kind of, art form which I'll discuss about, but theirs is a very simple, plain kind of way in which they have been preserved, hardly involve the eye until it meets his left hand gauntlet still. So the simplicity may not immediately capture one's attention until the observer notices the Earl's left hand gauntlet, which is empty. The gauntlet was once holding something, and the observer realizes it was holding the Countess's hand. The realization of the gauntlet's emptiness brings out a tender shock to the viewer. The sculpted hand, which is now empty, once held by the hand of the Countess, reveals a deep connection. They would not think to lie so long, such faithfulness in effigy. That is, the living couple would not have ever imagined or predicted that they would lie side by side for such an extended long period of time. The faithfulness of the sculpted figures was not something the couple considered when they were alive, was just a detail friends would see a sculptor's sweet commissioned grace, that is, the fidelity captured or the loyalty captured in the sculptor was a small, minute detail that friends might notice. The sculpture was created with the artist's skill and a sense of grace, which was commissioned by someone who was close to the couple. So it is someone close who had sculpted this thing, otherwise it wouldn't have come out so well. The sculptor, though beautifully made, is almost casually dismissed by the poet as merely helping to extend the Latin inscriptions on the tomb's base. They would not guess how early in their supine stationary voyage the air would change to soundless damage. That is, the living couple would not have predicted how soon in their afterlife their still and horizontal existence would be marked by a shift, perhaps indicating a change in perception. That is, even they did not imagine that they would be preserved by way of art in this way, turned the old tenetry away in the way the tomb is perceived. That is, this shift causes the departure of the old inhabitants of the tenants, suggesting a change in the way the tomb is perceived. Now, observers quickly come along, but they do not read the inscriptions which are there on the tomb. Persisted, linked through lengths and breadths of time, snow fell, undated light. Despite changes in time, the sculpted figures remain. They are linked to each other. Time passes, it is marked by the falling of the snow and the changing light. Each summer thronged the glass, that is, each summer is coming, but their sculpture remains as it is. A bright litter of bird calls strewed the same. That is, the presence of birds adds a natural living element to the otherwise static scene where their tomb is. The ground beneath the sculptor is described as bone riddled, hinting at the inevitability of death. And over time, countless individuals have come and visited the tomb, each bringing their own changes to it. Watching at their identity, that is, the continuous flow of people, washes away the identity of the Earl and the Countess. In the present time, these figures which are sculpted are described as helpless in the hollow of an age which is devoid of heraldic symbols, that is, a trough filled with smoke suspended in the slow, delicate threads hovering over their fragmentary history. Despite the erosion of identity, only a certain posture or attitude of the figures remain. Stanza 7. Time has transfigured them into untruth, that is, time has transformed the figures into something which is untrue. The stone fidelity that was once a faithful representation was not intended to be a lasting symbol, but it has become their final blazon, and to prove their ultimate heraldic display, serving as proof that our almost instinct, almost intuition about love, enduring beyond death, is validated. The enduring element, according to Larkin, is love. So, among the major themes of the poem, it explores the theme of love, which is beyond death, suggesting that genuine love continues to live on beyond the physical existence of individuals. Larkin in the poem also reflects on the limitation of art in capturing the true essence of a relationship. Despite artistic representation on the tomb, the real depth of connection is found only in the minute details around the sculptor. The poem also spans a significant period, highlighting that changes occur over time. It emphasizes the transient nature of life and the eroding effects of time on identity and memory. Even the sculptor, we may say, is being preserved. Even their relationship is being preserved by way of art, but that too is subjected to decay over time. And lastly, the depiction of the Earl and the Countess holding hands in the sculpture symbolizes the endearing nature of human connection and companionship. companionship. So that's it from this video. I hope you liked it. Do hit the like button. Subscribe to my channel for more such future updates. Thank you for watching. Bye.